and you wrote, my team sergeant and I were constantly harassed by the company sergeant major. At one point, he told me I was screwing up my career and that he would kick guys on my team out of the company and send them to undesirable assignments at their vaccine status lost missions. Multiple times he specified this was not a threat, but a promise. And so I know the kind of pressure you were under, and yet you held firm. And this whole podcast is about those who held firm and how did they do it? How did you do it?
It was God. It was trying to pray, trying to discern, figure out what's the right thing. I think that biggest difficulty for me was that kind of culminating point for me was June of 2021. My team is out in Arizona, Eloy, Arizona, and we're jumping out of planes at nighttime with oxygen equipment at 14,000 feet. And for Special Forces Command, they changed their policy where you now needed the vaccine in order to deploy. And at that point, I'd only had maybe one or two soldiers who had the shot. So I had to talk to my guys, what are we going to do? What do you want to do? I know Team Sergeant and I, we're not going to get it. And having lost that mission, then having that piece about, I'm not going to get this. And it was trying to weigh out, because there's sin and then there's virtue. There's also natural level things that you can do wrong. So I was just trying to look at the spectrum of what are the options, what are the solutions I have. Getting the shot for the sake of the aborted fetal cells would be the worst thing to do, right? If you're reveling in that, that would be the most evil formal cooperation you could do. Maybe you can get it and you can justify it. I could potentially justify it based on what Pope Francis was saying, what the Vatican was saying. I could say, well, I'm trying to follow what my church leaders are saying, which I thought was problematic. But maybe that's a way to maybe do something okay. And then on the other spectrum, there's what's the most perfect thing I can do? It's I can not get the shot and I can not lie about it. I know there's some folks who got the shot, faked it. I think there's some issues with that because to me, I think that getting the shot as a Catholic, as someone who believes that these use aborted fetal cells, that would be sinful. And if someone thinks you're sinning, that's where you can lead to scandal. The proper definition of scandal is when your actions, people seeing your actions can cause them to sin. It's not actually just shocking them. It's actually doing something that can cause others to think it's potentially okay and then lead them to sin. So I just had that kind of grace and peace about let's just do that most perfect thing. And it definitely stressed me out. I remember getting a twitch, getting some gray hairs, things of that nature, but was just trying to do the best I can, relying on God, talking to my dad, who's very supportive. And there were these networks that we found ourselves in that were supportive. So, praise God, thank God for the other people around me. Very grateful for my team for making it as far as they did. But it's really His grace that got me through this.